Okay, so this is the old way, where there was a scarlet letter and a focus on the single indicator of a school, and that is gone. That is not telling the story in context of the important work that schools are doing with students. Instead, we believe it's very important to tell a more comprehensive story about the work that schools are doing and be able to tell that in a way that's more meaningful and that will give the user the kind of information that is important to them. So the dashboard is really a place where families, school leaders are able, and community members can see important work that's been missed in the past. So for the first time, we are measuring the growth that is occurring within individual students. This is very often underappreciated, especially in our schools that have the most challenging of learning needs. Too often, the work and progress has been lost by a single indicator, and so that's gone. We think it's also important that we remind Oklahomans who look at a school report card that we realize that the world outside the classroom impacts the world inside the classroom, and that our children have increasing diverse needs that exists at a time with a teacher shortage. We are setting a high bar, but we are starting this year right where we are. Yeah. So the federal law, ESSA, requires that you rank order schools based on the total number of points they earned. That's all the indicators totaled together, all those points across indicators to a total overall score. And that score then is measured from the highest score to the lowest, and the lowest 5% performing are federally designated as needing support, greater support. Those are schools then that received the lowest letter grade, which we have on our A, B, C, D, and F scale. And then at the same time, we made certain that we would not over-identify, because we wanted to take those funds and resources that will be given to the state of Oklahoma and not dilute that across many schools, but instead isolate those funds to go to the schools that have the greatest learning challenges at their school or greatest needs in terms of progress. So we have done that, and then also made certain that we have identified at least the 5% highest performing schools on that index and labeled them A. There really were those kinds of surprises, and it was more just identifying the exciting work that's happening that became very evident as you see a school that has historically challenged learners that have not been able to reach recognition for that kind of progress in the past, that the growth indicator highlighted the work that those teachers are doing. And we see that all across the state. We also see that there are schools that have extreme challenges with socioeconomic poverty, or English learners that are actually doing better than the state averages, and we have a lot we can learn from those schools.
In conversations with parents who may still just see that their child's school is getting a C or a D or an F?
Well, I hope that they see more than that. We've been very careful in the way we've displayed this to provide that kind of balance that was missing in the past, so that you see the indicators as in one view and then drill down. So I would say that the question that families will have is, how can we support not just particular performance on assessment, but also the programs of excellence which is something that Oklahoma has done that other states are watching and wanting to learn more about how we have placed that as our top priority. A well-rounded education is what we believe impacts learning overall. And so we made a very deliberate decision to highlight that first.